At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
That's not where I wanted to go. Well, yeah, there you go. I gotta, that's a one-man band thing, right? We're always kind of just adjusting things here and there. But hey, how you doing? Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. Hoping you're having a good start to your day. It is chilly out there. Yesterday, at least in Redding, there was a bit of that breeze, right? And that kept things a little bit warmer. But this morning, ooh-wee, man, I tell you what, I'd actually drop Aiden off at, they had to work out at the gym for Alpine. They're getting ready for that. And 6 o'clock in the morning, had to get him out there. Isn't that an early time to get the kids out there to work out? But I guess that's the best time they can do it. I tell you what, it was cold out there, and that's what I love about modern cars these days, right? You can, from an app, turn on the heater, have it ready to go, have the heated seats. Ooh, it's nice and toasty inside the car. And got him out to the gym, got back here, getting ready for everything out there. But yeah, we got some of the regulars checking in this morning. Ruth, Steven, Chappie, Delinda, Krista. I haven't seen you in a while, actually. At least haven't seen you say anything on the chat. We got Chrissy Bentley saying good morning. I think I've seen you before. Lisa Stevens, also one of our regulars, saying, "Brr, good morning to all." And absolutely. Well, what do you say we get you right to, now we'll go to it, Krueger's Quick Cast. And this is, in case, if you're new to this, oh, good morning, Curtis, one of our regulars as well. If you're new to this, if you know me, if you've been watching my forecast over the years, I am all about detail. I love to go and spend a lot of time going into the great details. However, I realize and recognize the fact that people don't have a lot of time sometimes. And so you just want to know, hey, what can I expect as I head out the door this morning and go through the day? And that's what Krueger's Quickcast is all about. I also do it during my 6 o'clock in the morning update and my 6 o'clock in the evening update as well. So as you're heading out the door this morning, here's what you can expect. Oh yeah, it's freezing out at the Redding Airport at 32 degrees, 37 in Chico. Look at that, out in El Tourist, you're getting close to the single digits, 11 degrees right now, 14 degrees in Susanville, and we've got Mount Shasta City about 20. And of course for the coast, temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s. And with these cold temperatures, there actually is a cold weather advisory. This is actually a new advisory. The National Weather Service has kind of revamped their warning and advisory system. And this is one of the new things. It's called a cold weather advisory. And this is just essentially to warn people that it's going to be cold for an extended period of time, and you just need to be aware of that. So with temperatures in the mid to upper 20s for some of those wind-sheltered areas along the coast, that certainly could be a dangerous situation if you're not used to temperatures that cold. Now, the visibility actually looks pretty good out there. In fact, look at Wairika, actually a 0-mile visibility. And let me check while I'm at it. And I know I've got it in there. There it is. I'm going to show you, I want to take a look at, I can't really show you because I didn't prepare for that, because finally we're starting to see the visibility go down in the Wairika area. Let me see what the cameras look like up there. I don't really see a lot of fog there. No, I'm not seeing it. It looks like everything is pretty clear visibility-wise. So, yeah. But that's what it looks like. There was some fog in Trinity County yesterday morning. That's why I decided to show you those cameras here this morning. Getting you out the door this morning. Cold. Yeah, of course, once the sun comes up, temperatures start to increase. So we're going to be at about 35 for the valley by 8 o'clock this morning, but still in the teens and 20s for many of the higher elevations. So what's going on? Well, we take a look at the satellite image here, and what we've got here are a series of storms heading our way. This is a classic setup, folks. We've got kind of one storm after another over the Pacific that's heading our way. And this is going to bring us off and on rain. And really, it's going to be one of those things where what you see there in the center of your screen, you see that little gap between the two storm systems, that's really going to combine tomorrow night and Thursday morning. And then we'll see a bit of a break here Thursday afternoon, even Friday morning, with more rain coming in behind that. So as these storms approach, because there's more coming in behind even what you saw in the satellite image, as these storms approach, for Wednesday, it's going to be a low impact because we'll see afternoon showers, especially for the coast and inland. It's not until tomorrow night that we see that rain and snow move in. So for Thursday, what I've got is moderate impact because, again, keep in mind, the bulk of the rain and snow will be late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, minus the coast and northwestern parts of the state, there's not going to be a lot going on. So Friday, I've got a minor impact because the biggest impact will be in the late afternoon, evening hours on Friday with possible delays on I-5. Saturday, I've got a high impact. And the reason I say that is because there will be heavy snow at times, and there's a potential for some delays on I-5. Keep in mind, snow levels will average as low as 3,000 feet in some cases, maybe even locally lower. That could create problems. So I'm focusing on I-5 because that's obviously the biggest interstate, right? We've also got highways west and east of I-5 that can create some problems there. But so just kind of keep that in mind. So if it's going to impact I-5, then it's going to impact most likely those other mountain passes that are 3,000 feet and higher. Okay, so that's looking at the storm timeline. And we're going to go into that storm timeline and look at the details on that in our deeper dive forecast. The winds right now, not that big of a deal. You may have noticed yesterday the winds were a little breezy. Not so much the case today. Temperatures may struggle to get out of the 50s this afternoon. I am expecting some of us to possibly reach that 60-degree mark here for today in the valley. But otherwise, in the mountains, much colder, mainly in the 40s. But some of the cooler spots like Susanville, 37, Weed, about 39, Wairika only topping out at 35 today. You can see out in Weaverville, Hayfork, about 50, low to mid-50s out towards the inland areas in Trinity County. And out along the coast, you're looking at temperatures in the upper 50s for those daytime highs. All right, so let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for the valley. We started off there. And you've got a beautiful day again today. And temperatures still pretty mild on Wednesday. And really, for all intents and purposes, it will be dry on Wednesday. It's Wednesday evening, Wednesday night that the rain moves in. Now, what I've done here is kind of a bit of a broad brush forecast. And essentially, we've got off and on showers. The timing of that is something we'll go into in the deeper dive forecast when we look at Futurecast. All right, so taking a look at the coast. Showers as early as tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. That's also the case inland, and then late in the day into the evening hours for places like Weaverville. Snow levels on average 3,000 and 3,500 feet in Trinity County. Now for Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains, places like Siskiyou County, as we go into Wednesday evening, same thing for Modoc County, but mainly dry for Lassen, Plumas counties, for example, through most of the day on tomorrow. And then snow levels on average for Mount Shasta or Siskiyou County are going to be between 3,000 and 3,500 feet. For Modoc, Lassen, and Plumas counties, between 4,000 and 4,500 feet on average. Again, a bit of that broad brush forecast with those off and on showers entering the picture. Let's take a look at some of those cameras out there. Beautiful. Another beautiful sunrise shot out at Lake Oroville. This is another shot from Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Now, if you recall yesterday when we looked at this image, the lake had a lot of ripples in the water because the winds were blowing. But now we've got those calmer winds, and that's allowing for cold temperatures too. Now, take a look at Main Street Chico on Highway 32. Of course, we're looking at traffic flowing smoothly there, and looking at Highway 99 at Neal Road. A big batch of traffic off in the distance that, looks like they're going to have to stop at that red light. Oh, the joys of stopping at red lights during rush hour. Okay, let's take a look at Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. Looks like traffic is flowing smoothly there. Unfortunately, this is a camera that does not have the movement you saw in the previous cameras. By the way, I wanted to share this picture sent to us by Sarah. Now, she sent this from December 5th, a beautiful Mount Shasta sunrise. And by the way, if you want to send in your photos, whether it's a holiday photo, a sunrise, a sunset, share them from the free Weather NorCal app. And if you don't have the Weather NorCal app, why not? You need it. It's a local app. It is manned by me, my friends. That means I've been forecasting weather here for 25 plus years. This is an app that has been approved by yours truly. If you don't like it, here's what I always tell people. I know there are a lot of different options out there for apps. If you don't like it, you can take it off your phone because it's free and it won't hurt anything. So check it out. It's got a lot of great resources. Not only the current conditions, you can watch Coffee with Krueger. Watch what you're watching right now from your phone, from the app. Very easy. You can watch the latest video forecast. You can check out your neighborhood forecast. You can check out the latest road conditions, the cameras, fire conditions. Of course, during the fire season, obviously. You can share your photos from the free Weather NorCal app as well. So just a great source and a resource for here locally in Northern California. By the way, if you're traveling anywhere, it will follow you and it will let you know what the weather is wherever you go. But keep in mind, of course, it has nothing to do, that forecast outside of Northern California has nothing to do with me. All right, so let's check in with some of you out there this morning here. How is visibility determined? I can see Mount Shasta clearly from a place, but it's easily more than 10 miles. You know, gone are the days, and I'm going to, let's see here, Curtis is saying this. Gone are the days, Curtis, and this is Curtis saying, how is visibility determined? Gone are the days, you know, back in the day, you actually had a person who would send in information to the National Weather Service and give updates, current temperatures, right? An actual human eye would look at the temperature. An actual human eye would look out at the conditions and visibility. So essentially now the way it all works is you have these sensors that go and point straight up. And what they do is they see what it's looking like as far as visibility. And the technology has allowed it to determine what the visibility is. So sometimes the technology doesn't work perfectly. It'll say the visibility is low when in fact it's actually pretty good. So, you know, unfortunately that's kind of the issue that we're dealing with here is technology is not perfect. I think we all know that, right? Technology is not perfect, but you know, that's pretty much how it works. We have got Shelly from Weaverville saying, good morning, a little chilly in the mountains here, 21 degrees. Have a great day, Mike. You too, Shelly. Have yourselves a great day. We have got Deborah Ann saying, good morning, a little nippy in Etna. Oh, you're watching from Etna. You know, I love Scott Valley. And one of the reasons why is years and years and years ago, back in my Channel 7 days, I did a Student of the Week report. Remember, I'd go out to different schools and, oh, this student is great. And well, I went out to a school in Scott Valley, which, by the way, Siskiyou County is technically not in the what they call the DMA or the viewing area of Channel 7 or Chico. But I went out and I went there. And you all at that school, I think it was the elementary school, welcomed me with open arms. You made a banner, a sign, says, welcome Mike Krueger, and all that kind of, it was so awesome. I would love to bring back Student of the Week, Teacher of the Week, or month at least. But that would be kind of a fun project to bring back. So fun. But it's from Etna. That's awesome. I love that you are watching from Etna. We got Catherine Schmidt saying 13 at the old homestead. I'm going to wait and let the animals out of the barn. Hope everyone stays warm. Yes, absolutely. We have got Chappie saying, I have family coming down to Redding from Alturas for Christmas. Praying the weather cooperates. I hope so too. We're kind of a ways out to really know exactly, I mean, what, 15 days? You know, we're getting close. I'd say give it a couple more days and we can start looking at that long range and start trying to figure out what's going on with the weather, and hopefully everything will be okay for them. We have got Lori saying, good morning, Mike. Nice and clear here in Crescent Mills. Good for you. It's probably chilly though, right? And then, of course, Curtis saying thanks. I think that was just kind of the explanation that I had for the visibility. Well, what do you say? We now take it to, yes, the deeper dive forecast. This right here is what I think a lot of people like to stick around for, because this is when I go into great, great detail. I also, of course, do that in my morning update as well. But we can't forget to mention our sponsor. Our sponsors are very important to the operations here at Weather NorCal, because without them, it wouldn't exist. You know, I know of other people doing this that are not part of my big group here, but there are people who have apps. They charge people for the apps. They charge people to watch their weather forecast. As far as I'm concerned, it should be a free service. That's just the bottom line. We don't need to put that burden on you. And that's what the sponsors are for. The sponsors make it possible for you to have free weather information from the most reliable source here at Weather NorCal. So we got to thank our sponsors. We got to thank Wind River for supporting, being the primary sponsor of Coffee with Krueger. So at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. So I want to thank Wind River for supporting Weather NorCal and, of course, Coffee with Krueger. Let's take a look at those current conditions out there right now. We have got some, it's chilly out there. And as you know, you can, I mean, just from a visual standpoint, from the colors, teens and 20s for central eastern Siskiyou County and the eastern mountains. Oh man. I mean, hey, listen, we've seen it before. We see it every once in a while. Alturas can drop below zero. It's happened, and it could happen, sometime this year, right? But look at that in the valley. 32 degrees for Redding, 37 right now in Chico, 38 degrees in Oroville, and we've got 39 for Eureka, but a little bit warmer in Crescent City at about 47 degrees. There you can see a cold weather advisory for the coast. This is for basically temperatures in some of those sheltered areas that could drop down into the mid to upper 20s. So just be aware of that. Cold. Continue dry and mild here, though. When you look at the weather headlines, rain chances increase tomorrow. But really, for most of us, it's going to hold off until tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. But the coast, tomorrow afternoon, possibly seeing some of that rain. Now, snow levels, depending on your location, will be between 3,000 and 4,500 feet. We'll go into that in a little bit more detail here in a second. And then mountain travel, it's going to be impacted. I'm expecting impacts even on I-5. So when we've got impacts on I-5, it's going to impact all of the mountain passes east and west of I-5 as well at some point in time. And again, we'll get into that here. All right, so you look at this. We've got a storm system here, a bit of a gap, a little bit of a break, and then another system here. This is essentially coming in Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. Behind it is the next system right here coming in early Thursday morning. Because once this passes, Thursday afternoon, not a lot of rain. A lot of the energy with this is going to push through, but then more of the energy later on with that storm will be to the northwest. So let's go ahead and take a look at Futurecast. And we'll walk you through the timing of at least the first push of moisture coming in. So you can see today we've got sunny skies across the board, maybe some passing high clouds. Now tomorrow's the transition day. What you'll notice here, all of this is just high and mid-level clouds entering the picture, but no rain really at this point. You can see a little bit of drizzle trying to develop, but most likely still dry even for the coast at this point. Now, by the afternoon, the chances will start to increase. As we go to about 5 o'clock, you've got the rain. And looking at moderate rainfall at times for parts of the north coast. And you see where it is? Mainly to the north and west. So northern Humboldt County, Del Norte, western Siskiyou. This is kind of that area where we're seeing the bulk of the rain. To the south, not as heavy. For Trinity County, not as heavy either. It is picking up on some light rain here for the valley. Could we see a sprinkle tomorrow afternoon, evening, around 5 p.m.? Sure. But the atmosphere is pretty dry right now. So we're going to have to wait until Wednesday night. So here's Wednesday night at 11 p.m. There's the rain pushing through the valley. Now for the valley, you're talking the potential for some moderate rainfall at times as early as Wednesday night. Now you see all the snow in the mountains. There's I-5 near Mount Shasta, could be in the form of snow. There's a look at Highway 299 West. A look you can see right here, we're getting snow close, but at this point still at 11 p.m., Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain may be borderline. Highway 36 may run into some issues here. We all know we tend to see issues here. We have higher mountain passes off east of I-5, so we'll probably be looking at chain requirements really starting to kind of pile up there as well. Highway 89, Snowman Summit most likely seeing some problems. Then we go to 3 a.m. on Thursday. Now look what's happening. We're kind of at the back edge of this system. Remember I was pointing out the Thursday system. This is the moderate to heavy rainfall for the valley. Heavy snow off to the east. You can bet Thursday morning there could be chain requirements there. But take a look at this. There's Scott Mountain. Here's Buckhorn Summit. We're getting kind of in that mix there, right? Even around Oregon Mountain. There's Highway 3. There's Highway 299, Highway 36. We've got Highway 44 right here. So again, we're looking at snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. Mountain passes, yeah, it could definitely be a problem here. So Thursday morning, I would not be surprised if there were chain requirements as you wake up on Thursday morning. But 6 a.m., look where the bulk of it is now. Off to the east, things are really starting to quiet down. So the thing is, as we look at Thursday around noon, you see how we have another little batch coming into out to the northwest, Del Norte, northern Humboldt, kind of that tri-county area, if you will, or quad county area, because it does include parts of Trinity County as well. But clearing, dry conditions by noon on Thursday for the valley, and even clearing skies by Thursday noon to the east. And then you can see, just as that pushes off to the east, some snow flurries, but nothing terribly heavy at this point. So the bulk of that first push of moisture is going to be tomorrow night and Thursday morning. That's when I expect the biggest impacts on your mountain travel that I was mentioning. By the time we get to the late morning hours of the noon hour, Caltrans will be able to really make sure everything's cleared out. And there probably will still be some chain requirements even on Thursday afternoon, because still some icy slick spots that could certainly be a problem here. But I-5, I would anticipate the conditions will improve through the morning and especially as we get closer to noon on I-5, and there probably won't be any more problems at that point. Now, again, keep in mind, we've got more systems coming in Friday, Saturday, this weekend as well. And we'll get into that here a little bit in just a second here. But look at the rainfall totals through Thursday, 5 p.m. You know, I think on average about 1/2 inch of rain or more in some spots for the valley. Now, it's not really picking up on the rain as we could be looking at snow off to the east. We'll get into that here in a second as well. But there you can see that we're seeing most of the rain off to the north and west with possibly over 1 inch in some spots here. All right, snowfall totals through Thursday evening. There you can see, I think we could be looking at a couple of inches of snow, upwards of 2 to 4 inches for Mount Shasta, maybe Dunsmuir, Bernie. You know, it's not out of the question for Bernie, although you're a little bit lower in elevation than Mount Shasta, so it may be harder to pick up that 2 to 4 inches, and a little bit more down to the south and east here. Even Alturas may even pick up a little bit of snow as well. That's the short range model. Let's take a look at what it looks like at the ski park through Thursday, 5 p.m. That blue is 4 to 8 inches of snow. You get into the upper parts of the park and you're talking 8 to 12 inches of snow. So yeah, I mean, some healthy snow heading that way, which does mean some travel headaches though as we do that. Hey, take a look at the ski report. As you know, Mount Shasta Ski Park does open tomorrow, but today it is closed. You take a look at some of the others around the Tahoe region: Heavenly, Mammoth, Kirkwood, North Star, Sierra Tahoe. Conditions are looking pretty good there, and most of them have a lot of their chairlifts open and their runs are open as well. Okay, let's take a look at Futurecast here. Now we're looking at the long range. We're going to go beyond Thursday. We took a look at the timing of that. Now let's go into the next system. All right, so here we are Friday. There's that next system coming in on Friday. Snow levels still, once again, kind of the same situation, around 3,000 to 4,500 feet, just depending again on where you are. That's Friday. Now we go into Saturday, kind of some heavier rainfall coming in, especially Saturday morning. Snow along the Sierra, Southern Cascades. Once again, probably running into some issues here, even on I-5. We take you into your Sunday, maybe a bit of a break. But Sunday afternoon into Monday, yeah, we've got another round of some decent rain and snow in the mountains. And this one actually looks to be a little bit colder and may even drop down below 3,000 feet in some cases. But overall, it looks like that'll move out, and by Tuesday, at least this model is keeping us dry. The European forecast model is kind of sticking some of that rain and snow around through at least Tuesday morning and then clearing out Tuesday afternoon. And I want to zoom out here because even though it looks like it's drying out, there are more storms over the Pacific. This is looking at Tuesday of next week, by the way. So 1 week from today, you can see more storms here that may impact us by the middle to latter part of next week, giving us a chance for some more rain. So yes, the storm door is opening, folks, and it's allowing these storms to finally move in that up until this point have been diverted up and over the big ridge of high pressure that's been in place, and we've remained dry. But we're finally getting these storm systems coming in, and this is the way we like to get it. You know, here's the thing, and I'm going to show you something, and we're going to talk about this in more detail here. But before we get into it, we'll take a look at the beach hazard statement that we do have for the coast. You know, I got to do this because here's the thing. It didn't put it in there. Give me a second, folks, because I want to give you more detail with the snow. That's I thought I put it in there. That is crazy, folks. I thought I put the longer range in there. Well, shoot. Where is it? Give me a second, because I wanted... Boy, it was going so smoothly. Everything was going great. I had the snow totals for you. All right. Give me a second here. Let's do this. Map frames. We're going to go into... Give me a second here. Of course, you know, I can't find anything because now I'm just kind of stressing and trying to get everything going here. Let's do this. DMA snow, I think that's what we want. Yeah, we want that. Okay, hold on one second. I'm so bummed out. It was going so smoothly. I had this story going because I wanted to really show you this. What's going on? Come on. All right. Let's throw this in here. We'll get that going. This is looking at the long range. Keep in mind, this is the long range forecast model. Now see how it's slowly accumulating. Now, in fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop it because this tells the story better. I'll do it from my desk so I can explain it here a little bit better here. Let's get to it here. Stop. All right, I'm going to do this. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So here we are. We're going to take you into Thursday. Let's take you into Friday. So 2 to 4 inches, we saw that, right? And then, again, keep in mind this is a long-range forecast model. So see how it starts to accumulate. We see a bit of a break on Friday. So you see how it's like 2 to 4 inches for quite a while. And then finally, as we go into Thursday night, Friday, it begins to kind of pile up again for Friday night, right? And then, again, notice how it starts to pile up again around Mount Shasta on Saturday. And then we go into Sunday, into Monday, and it piles up again. So essentially, when we look at these totals, here, let me get that mouse out of there as well. When we look at these totals, you're like, wow, 40 to 50 inches of snow in Mount Shasta. Okay, first of all, the long-range forecast models tend to overdo it. But secondly, this is nothing like the atmospheric river event where we saw 30 inches in Mount Shasta City in a matter of 12 to 18 hours. Okay, this 40 to 50 inches is the accumulation. So it starts off at 2 to 4, then 2 to 4 on top of that, we then go to 18 to 24, and then on top of that, we go to 24 to 30, right? And then it just keeps piling up till eventually. So this is a matter of, basically, we're looking at a week's worth of snow. So we're getting recovery. So it's not like you're going to get dumped on with 40 to 50 inches of snow in a matter of 24 hours. You're getting dumped on 40 to 50 inches of snow in a matter of 5 to 7 days. All right? So that's what you're looking at right here. So don't think that you're suddenly just going to see this big pile of snow in Mount Shasta. You're going to get it. You're going to see that snow, but it's not going to be anything quite the impact that we saw during that atmospheric river event where we saw that first initial push of a lot of moisture. And of course, we saw a ton of that snow. And of course, I-5 was closed down for like the entire day. It was crazy. What's going on here? Why is it doing that again? All right. I just messed everything up. We'll get it. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. All right. Now, let's stop talking about snow and get you to the beach hazard statement, because there is a beach hazard statement for the coast through Wednesday morning. Sneaker waves, that's the big concern here. So there's your wave heights today. No concerns. Your wave heights through Wednesday, see how they're starting to kind of creep upward. They will continue to do that Wednesday into Thursday. So your marine forecast for your Tuesday, south winds at 5 to 10 knots, waves northwest at 4 feet 11 seconds, and from the west at 5 feet at 18 seconds. And we don't have any advisories, at least as of yet. That will probably change by tonight, tomorrow. All right, so here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Again, the thing to keep in mind, Trinity County, late in the day, probably tomorrow evening is when the rain and snow kicks in, off and on rain. We saw the timing of all that, right? So that's really what it looks like. And again, the timing looks like, as we look at the next 7 days, will be tomorrow night, early Thursday morning. And another round of some heavier rain and snow coming in around Saturday, really. And then off and on, really, in between all that and even after that. 51 degrees for Forest Glen, 50 out in Hayfork. We take you off to the southern portions of Humboldt County. We got upper 50s to around 60 in Garberville, 55 degrees in Honeydew. We take you out to Ferndale, Fortuna, 59 degrees. Rio Dell, about 56 degrees. Now let's take you up north, 58 degrees for McKinleyville, 59 for Blue Lake, 59 in Trinidad, and we've got those low to mid 50s for Hoopa and Willow Creek. Take you up north, about 62 degrees for Smith River, 56 in Gas Key, 56 for Klamath, and 55 degrees in Orick. How about your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast? Highway 96, those temperatures mid to upper 40s for those daytime highs. Cold in Hornbrook, cold in Wairika, only reaching the mid to upper 30s there, even for places like Gazelle. Scott Valley, around 40, give or take. 40 degrees for Fort Jones and Greenview, 41 for Etna, and Callahan, about 42 degrees. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Central, eastern Siskiyou County, temperatures mainly in the 30s and 40s there. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, 30s and 40s, 39 degrees for Newell, 41 degrees for Canby, and 43 degrees in Alturas. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast with about 53 in Montgomery Creek, 46 in Bieber, and 55 degrees in Paynes Creek. There's your Lake Elminor and Laston Park forecast, and what we're seeing here for Chester is about 46 degrees, 43 for East Shore, Westwood, a high of about 41 degrees today. We take it to the south with Paradise topping out at 56, Greenville 46. Still cool in Susanville though, with only a high of about 37, and not too far above that is Doyle with a high of about 38 degrees. In your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. You've got those temperatures in the upper 50s, 58 degrees out in Red Bluff as well as Chico, 58 degrees for Willows, and that's also the case in Elk Creek. There you can see we're looking at 56 in Whiskeytown, 59 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake and Redding, and 58 degrees in Cottonwood. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. And again, that chance for showers late in the day, probably more like a Wednesday night, Thursday morning event. So again, you look at this, you go, man, it's just a washout. No, it's not. It's going to be off and on showers here with the heaviest, as I mentioned. I think the timing of the heaviest rain, and snow for that matter, will be Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Really, most of Thursday for many of us is going to be dry for the most part. I mean, again, the north parts of the North Coast, still some showers on Thursday afternoon, but otherwise, not that wet on Thursday afternoon, especially in the valley. Friday, not very wet either. It's not until, say, Friday evening, Friday night into Saturday, we'll see another round of possibly some heavy rain, possibly some heavy snow as well through the day on Saturday, and then maybe a bit of a break on Sunday, but still a slight chance in there, and then some more, possibly, some more moderate to heavy rainfall coming in on Monday. So again, this is off and on. This is the way we want to get that rain and snow, because it doesn't all come down at once. We get a little bit, we get a bit of a break, we see more, we get a bit of a break, and we see more. See, this allows Mother Nature to recover, number one, so flooding becomes less of a concern, and mudslides, debris flows become less of a concern. Now, if you have heavy downpours in a short period of time, that can be a concern with mudslides, debris flows, flash flooding, but I don't anticipate that really being a problem. And when it comes to road conditions, there will be off and on intermittent times when even I-5 will be impacted by the snow with chain requirements. And in particular, you think about places like Mount Shasta, Weed, Snowman Summit and Highway 89, and of course east and west of I-5 as well for some of those lower elevations. Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain, right? Some of those areas could be impacted by that as well. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind as we progress through these series of storms. They're going to be your typical winter storms where they will be cold, there will be a moisture source, and it will bring us some heavy snow at times, and that's going to impact your travel. So it's one of those situations where you need to keep it right here to weathernorcal.com, Weather NorCal in general, for the latest forecast. But another thing I want to point out, and I'm going to show you on the maps here. Let's go to weathernorcal.com. There we go. Oops, that's the wrong keyboard. I've got so many keyboards, I get confused. All right, I'm going to take you to the web page. So let's go down to the web page here. So you're at the very top, right? And you got the 24-hour streaming channel there. You got the latest forecast that you can watch right here on the right side. And then you can see right down here below the streaming channel, you will see where it says road conditions. Here's what I love about the road conditions website or web page. You have got right here just click on it, and it will take you to Quick Map. Okay, so you can check out the latest chain requirements, the works. But here's what I've done with the Caltrans cameras. I've taken some of the more popular cameras, and I have put them at an easy glance. So you say, oh, how does it look at I-5? Well, how about Fondale? Is there a backup there? Are they closing it down there? Well, you'd see a backup of cars there, right? This is on I-5 here near Mount Shasta City. Things look clear there. Looks like we have some frost. Looks like we have some frost this morning in some of those areas. It's cold. Look at the frost on those medians. Looks like that's an outdated image there, but still, that's about an hour old for Central Iowa. But again, you look at I-5, you can see Highway 89, 97. You can see Highway 299 West, Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain, Berry Summit. You've got Highway 299 East. You see Cedar Pass up to the north and east. Looks like some frost on the road there. Looks frosty, definitely. Highway 44, right? You've got Highway 36. You've got Highway 395. So again, a very quick, easy glance at some of the more popular cameras, so you can very easily, around all of NorCal, see what it looks like with those road conditions. So this is a page that I highly recommend that you have bookmarked, or just come to weathernorcal.com and very quickly and easily get to that web page, and you'll be good to go. And by the way, some really great information and good advice coming in from Caltrans District 2 that they posted on here, so we can watch that video, and you can also see just some of their advice on winter driving. So yeah, there you go. Okay, let's kind of check in with some of you again here this morning, and what we've got going on is, well, let me get out of there here first. We're going to go over here, get that ready as well. We've got Mary Burton saying 15 degrees this morning. Whew, yeah, cold. And then Chappie said, did I see that Reading will see some snow? You didn't see it here, and I'm not going to advertise that as well. It looked like maybe it was close in Reading, but no, it did not. It's not showing snow in Reading. Esther is saying, rosy fingered down in Eureka. We've also got James saying good morning. Deborah saying, yes, absolutely need to do that. Love seeing the youth prosper. Yes. All right. I think we got it. I think we got everything covered here. There's your deeper dive forecast. Again, keep checking in. And here's the thing too. As the storm kind of nears and we start getting into the storm, feel free to ask questions. Hey, I'm traveling here. I'm going there. My family's coming in from this place, whatever. And if it's within reason, that day or, a few days out, I can give you a pretty good confidence on what's going on with all that. So, and sometimes we can even pull up some maps based on some of your questions as well. So that's going to do it for us this morning on Coffee with Krueger. Keep checking in throughout the day on the latest forecast. I do an update at noon. I do another update at 6 p.m. in the evening. And of course, I also keep updating on social media as well. So thank you so much for watching this morning. Have yourselves a great Tuesday morning and Tuesday in general. And we will see you right here again on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m. Have a great day.